The temperature dropped here, so I've got my jacket on, and I gotta work with water, and water and cold are fun things to mix. Let me show you what's going on. This is the water valve that is on the bottom of the fresh tank, and there's supposed to be like a little handle here, and I broke it once, broke the handle off once, and didn't learn my lesson. I probably should have lubed it up somehow to make it easier to turn, and then I broke it a second time, and now it's near impossible, but it's a screw-in fitting. And so I went out on a mission to try and figure out what to do about it. And at Lowe's, you can get this. And this thing is a beefy boy. This thing is pretty strong. It has a garden hose adapter on one side, and then this is 1/2" NPT, or National Pipe Thread, I believe. And it's actually the same size. It's kind of a little bit of an optical illusion because of the white versus brass. But this was about $10. Thinking that this was probably overkill for the job, I went ahead and bought it because with plumbing jobs, you get every single piece the first time you're in the store, and you go back and return everything that you aren't using. Otherwise, you wind up going to the store 1,000 times on every single plumbing job. So then, while I was at the Lowe's store, the local guy told me that there is a local RV shop in town. So I went and got this. This is a universal drain valve, and it looks exactly like the non-broken form of this, except for the universal bit on the top to go into the other size tank, which I don't have that connector. This was also $10. So, given that this has the garden hose adapter part on it, I'm going to go ahead and put that in as well. And I'll just put this in the parts bin and save it for later. It's going to cost me more to go back to the hardware store and drop that off than it is to get it returned, so more stuff to carry. Yay! This is going to be brass threading into plastic, so I'm pretty sure I don't need any thread tape. So I'm going to put it up without it, and we're going to check for leaks. And then I might fix it. Alright, it looks like it is installed. Now I gotta find a long enough garden hose to get me some water supply where I'm at, which is not a water supplied campsite. And we'll test it out. One thing I don't like about this connector here is that when you go to open it up, you're actually also unscrewing it from the freshwater tank. But that'll give me a chance to continuously make sure that it's tight whenever I tighten it up again. Fun stuff. Looks good to me. Once again, under the category of I make mistakes so you don't have to, I got this thing I have to deal with. I don't know whose bright idea it was to put the smoke detector by the slide, but somehow when we were opening and closing the slide, this thing got in the way and got crunched. So it's got to go. Also, because it is crunched on the backside, you might not be able to see that, but there's a little dent there that makes it hard for that thing to be held on. And in addition to that, it stays open because it doesn't close properly, except for when I want to show in a video how it doesn't stay closed. Now it stays closed just fine. But normally it looks like that, and that's not good. So this is going in the trash. Gone. And there really isn't anything special about smoke detectors. This one I got from a Walmart, and we're going to see if it fits because I don't want to drill any more holes in the roof. These two right here are more than enough. And it says, test your smoke alarms. Okay, sure. I'll test it. Not working. I had to drill another hole here. I mean, you brought tools with you, didn't you? And then they say I should put this in and turn it until it makes a beep. Okay, so it turns out the old screw heads were too big and I needed to put new holes in anyway. But you can see I put them real close to the old holes, so hopefully there's nothing in the way. And now it works. And there's a big button here to shut it up when it goes off at dinner time. Just like that. Just like that. If everyday, ordinary RV repairs are your thing, then this is the channel for you. Be sure you're subscribed by hitting that subscribe button down below, and make sure you don't miss any of the new videos coming out where we do more than just repair things. I do a lot of repair videos on this channel because I do a lot of repairs. I like to tinker and fix things. Yes, things break in an RV, but I don't really think they break any more often than they do in a house. I just don't know that anybody's videoing house repairs as they travel with their house around the country like RVers do. All of it's pretty simple stuff to do. It's not that big of a deal, and it gives you something to keep active with. I would assume that if you're not a full-time RVer, that you don't have full-time RVer problems like this, and your RV lasts a little bit longer in between repairs. But we are using the heck out of this thing, and it is doing the job that it needs to do, and maybe we're getting a bigger one soon, so stay tuned for that as it comes along. One of the things that you get to enjoy by being a full-time RVer is changes of scenery like this. I'm at a river in Texas at a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campsite, and it is pretty nice. More videos on that coming up in the future. Check this one out here next. I'll see you over there.